All right, give me a minute. I just woke up. Sorry, guys. All new episode. Run Tell That podcast. How was everybody week?
And we doing better than you.
Uh, shit happens. Shit happens. I work 7 days a week. I'm tired.
Mm, mm, mm.
7 days a
I
week. Yeah.
I wish I had your paycheck 7 days a week, and you too tired to spend any of it. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah. So Greg, him. How was your week?
Man, you need 5 more minutes of nap. What's up?
No, I'm up. I said no. I asked, how was him week? Most time I go
Oh,
every in person.
no,
Oh, I'm
good.
okay. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake.
No, I
I
had
don't know. No, why?
no, I had my week was it was good. I can't complain. I can't complain.
Ro, how was your week?
Oh, mine was pretty good. I got two job offers. I'm gonna see how this.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna see how this second one go.
Okay. My week was good until the last couple hours as I laid down and said, "Oh, take me a nap." Overslept. But tonight's episode is episode 80. PenFed won't allow my accounts to cover your kids with Leroy and Man Man. So what we so this was Dale, this was your topic, so we're gonna let you explain the topic.
All right. Um, Again, first of all, to all the listeners, potential listeners, again, we welcome you. We thank again that you've thought enough of us to join us, and we're grateful. But again, I heard a conversation this week, and it kind of struck an interest in me in that a father went to mom and told the mother that he would like to take his daughter to Disney. Mom reply was, I'll allow you to take her to Disney on the promise that you'll take her five siblings that are not his. So he has one. Again, he wants him and his family wants to take the baby girl to Disney. But again, the stipulation was she must take the other five siblings that are not his, and they are no longer together. So again, I pose the question, I throw it out there again, what's your thoughts? What do you think? Like I said, the dad just want to take his daughter to Disney to give her some memories, take her out, have a good spring break. But again, mom is saying that will not happen unless you take her five siblings that are not his. What's your thoughts?
Nope, nope, nope.
Mm.
I kind of
No, I
posed this
couldn't do it.
question to my coworkers, and they're of the mind, where are the other five fathers or the other fathers? Where are the other parents? So, like I said again, I thought this was interesting in that the man just want to love his daughter. But like I said, her claim to fame was that again, at one point in time, this guy was called dad by all of them. So again, that's her thing. You got to take all of one or none. I mean, all or none.
Mm.
Now this is Disney.
Yeah, no, I still
Disney
couldn't
is
do it.
not a cheap trip.
Yeah. So no, I still couldn't do it. Mm-mm. I still be able to take. I just gotta take my one, I guess. I guess we ain't going.
Again, Miss Key has, provoked thought and interest in me in that I became a little challenged in doing a little research, a little background, a little fact checking. Miss Key on point. I like her. Anyway, the cheapest ticket you can get into Disney is about $85, and that'll cover about a day. So now let's do the math. You got six kids times 85 at this one day now. I'm not exactly sure where they were from, but now you got to get from wherever they at to Disney. That's an expense. And then, like I said, you got to get a hotel or a suite big enough for the minimum of 7 if you're going to do it by yourself. And then, like I said, now you got to get them into the park. You got to pay, and then them little rascals going to eat. You know, you're going to have to buy you some burgers. You're going to buy you some fries, and you're going to have to do this for the length of the stay.
Well, you got to remember too now. When I went to Disney like not too long ago, and them tickets were $184 a piece.
Okay, now like I said, my research said the cheapest ticket was 85.
No, ain't no cheap no 85.
Okay,
I mean,
thank you, thank
look,
you.
you must be going on dang on at Broadway on the beach at Myrtle Beach.
But go for it. Go ahead.
But
So
yeah,
185.
$185.
All right now.
And then you got to remember if you're taking kids and all that stuff like that, they gonna still charge like 170 something for a kid.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff like that. So you got five going in and all this stuff like that. Two adults. Shh, man, come on now. I mean, you better be making some pit stop at some restroom and hitting that thing on the way going in, to let her know that, man, look, I'm actually paying all this money for all the kids to go in too, and for you to go in.
Mm-hmm.
So let me have some loving.
Well, my thing is that even if I'm at that point, I don't want no loving now because you didn't put this kind of burden on
Man,
me.
you might as well
I ain't
have the
trying to hear
loving.
that.
You just go ahead and have the loving.
I'm kind of like Gerard. Like now, maybe we ain't going if I got to take all of them. And matter of fact, where are they fathers? You know, watch. And then, like I said again, now you're gonna have to. And I don't know about y'all, but being around 6 kids at a theme park and you got to get them there, and God forbid if you got to fly in. I mean, come on. That's a big ticket. That's a major. That's a monster ticket. Bro, you taking the crew with you,
No, I will not be.
Gerard?
All right, y'all can hear me now.
No. Yeah, we can hear you. No,
All right, yeah, I don't
no.
know. My joint going in and out, but no, I ain't taking nobody with me.
No, I'm not taking nobody. I mean, I can't. No, no. I ain't the one to help make them. I only made one. I didn't help make the other five. So
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Uh, So again, is there any validity in her argument? Now again, I had some mothers tell me that well, it's not right that he should have to pay for everybody, but in the same token, do you take the one child and leave the five at home to let her come back and share how what a
Man,
good time she
I
had?
mean, let's just go ahead and be honest. That's not fair. If you take one child and they got four other kids sitting
Okay,
there,
I
that,
heard that statement
that
made too.
man, that I mean, look, at that point, that you don't, you might not want to go to Disney no more. You might want to actually find out what Cowan's, how many Cowan's tickets are. If it's cheaper to go to Cowan's than to go into Disney, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You might want to probably take them to Concord, to a water park in Concord, then take them down to Cowan's and all that stuff like that. I mean, that just me now, you know what I'm saying? But that actually take like 7 people to Disney, you're gonna be spending a lot of money. Then you got to get the room.
Yep,
Then you got to feed them.
gotta feed them.
You know what I mean? McDonald's and McDonald's in Florida might be expensive than the McDonald's down here where we live at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
All the prices are totally different.
I think the general consensus is that again, even though white the mother's making a point, at the end of the day, this is a major expense. And like I said again, he just want to take care of what's his. You know, so like I said again, I thought it was an interesting topic or
Oh
interesting
no, it
thought.
is.
But at the end of the day, I think she was wrong to insist that she take all of them. You know, that like I said, that's a monumental expense, and it kind of takes the other fathers, the other parents off the hook.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It depends on. So what is this? If we are not together, I'm not taking your kids. I'm not. That's not happening. Now, if you are in a relationship with that person, then that's different. Then of course, you need to like what G Man said. You got to plan a trip that's gonna be that's affordable, so you can take all the kids with you. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
And and that's my thought. You have to find a situation that's going to benefit everybody. But like I said, I did
You
see
go.
again as a father wanting to love on his child, wanting to bless his child with a memorable vacation, a memorable spring break. But in the same token, like I said again, for mom to put that burden on him, that's a lot. Now, again, we just threw this out there as something to kind of talk about to break the ice. If you got anything else you need to discuss or want to discuss, we can throw that out there as well.
I just don't see how you can expect somebody to foot that bill. I mean, if you're not together, like I hate to say it, but that's one of them, like you gotta look at your situation, and you need to talk to them other pappies and pool that money up together.
But what do you do in a situation like that? Like I said, do you just break down and just or do you fold and let it happen? Or like I said, or do you just put your foot down? I'm gonna take mine, and then that's gonna be it.
Oh no, I'm just taking mine. I'm just taking mine. Like I said, if we're not together, I'm just taking mine. I mean, this is what it is.
That's my thought. That's my thought.
Yeah,
What you think?
yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, no, no, I don't see how you can try to guilt trip somebody into doing that.
And it seemed like she was holding a child over his head. If you gonna do this, you gonna take all of it, and if not, you're not taking the daughter. And like I said again, I just thought that was wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just don't see it. I mean, that's just like what was that the old joint? What was that a couple years back when you had the when they just like when they were talking about the food, like the dad wanted to bring his kids something to eat, and it was like, oh, you didn't bring all my other kids something to eat. That's not his responsibility to feed them other kids. You know.
that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts.
But what if it's a situation where she would, okay, knowing that she probably can't get the money from the other dads or whatever, what if she says she alleviate some of that and help? Would you then go like half instead of all of it?
No, I'm not
I
doing
mean,
half. I'm not doing none of it. It ain't
Ain't
my
gonna have either.
responsibility. No,
That's true.
I didn't go. I
I,
didn't go
I,
half with
I
homework when he ended up in it. So why should I go half with paying?
Whoa,
I'm just saying.
whoa,
I'm just saying.
whoa.
like I said again, I just thought that was just unfair of her to put that kind of burden on him. And then like I said, you got so many folks talking about deadbeat dads and dads not wanting to do. But again, I can see the other aspect of it in that, you got your the one child has gone to Disney and you got these five sitting at home, maybe feeling bad or whatever. And I get that. But I think G Man had a good point in that we may have to find a plan B, because at the end of the day, it's not right that the other five should stay home, but in the same token, it's not right that you should keep the little girl from spending time with her dad and his family.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, theoretically, that's what you're doing. You turn around and punishing you, just like you worrying about. Like you got to worry about. If you want to worry about the other kids not being able to attend, then it's like, okay, well now you basically pulling this joy from that one child that can't help it that her dad is actually wanting to be in her life and do stuff with her or him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, you
Hmm.
that's on you. Hate to say it, but that was your decision to, you know,
I've been around
you
a
know.
lot of dads, throughout my my career. I've worked with parents for a long time, and I take my hat off to the parents that or the dads that want to step up. Sometimes dad can get bad reps in that deadbeat dads, no show dads. But again, here's a man that want to do for his. And again, like I said, I understand that at the end of the day, you know, he's showing up, he's there, and like I said, mom won't let him be there. And I hate the fact that again, mom would put that kind of burden on him. Instead of her coming up with an idea, well, maybe I can do something with the five others that didn't go. But like I said again, dads have rights as well. Again, like I said, we always looking at those dads that are just not there, not present in the child's life, and then you got some that just want to be but can't afford to be, or the mothers won't allow them to be. And I thought about that because I'm planning on taking my grand to Disney in July. So, like I said, I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, like I said again, would I have to choose between one and the others? So I'm just grateful I don't have to go that route.
Hmm. And then like sometimes the most important part of it is that you know even if it and even if it's not your kid and you dating a woman,
Yep, say
I
that.
hate to sound this way, but come on now. I mean,
It's a
like,
package.
it's yeah. I mean, like, man, but if she got three mouths, I mean, and only one of them is mine. I mean, I gotta agree with you guys, man. That's kind of hard.
It's hard.
That's
That's
kind of
hard.
hard. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to actually continue on being in a relationship with that person?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to actually think about the dad too. Now, what if you spend it? The dad got five kids, and the woman got one
Mm-hmm.
out of the five, and all his kids want to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So how would that work? And would the lady get mad if you spend it?
That's a whole nother conversation. I knew a young lady, beautiful young lady. I mean, and I guess JP would say the Pookies and the Ray Rays.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she met this guy. They kind of started kicking it, and again, truth had come out. He had 10 kids. He had
God
ten
damn.
kids that belonged to 10. And again, I have no
10 is too much.
10 is too much.
Mm,
But she turned around and gave him two more.
God dang.
So my thing is,
damn.
I mean, like I said, the communication was there. He had already made it clear. And then my thing was, are you supporting your 10 children?
Wait.
No,
When anytime you add cayenne pepper inside hot sauce, guess what it becomes? Too hot.
too hot,
That's too hot.
and it's too much. But again, the information was available.
That's too.
So now there's 12. He has fathered 12 kids by at least four. Let's say 4 to 5 different women. And at the end of the day,
Hey.
he can't. He's just not supporting. He can't support. He can't afford to support all of them.
Yeah. You know what? And the best part about it is that that's when the curtains come over that from that lady eye or whoever eyes, and that's when they realize that he is a little too much. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gonna have to say no. As
yeah,
much as as attractive as you think he may
that's
be,
right.
or again, as intelligent as he may appear to come off,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, sometimes you have to walk away. The potential might be there, but sometimes you have to say no. No, mean no. I can't do this. Can't do it. Won't do it because, like I said, he might want a Disney trip. So, like I said, is it fair that she has to take her two, and then and his 10, and make that trip work, make it functional? Hell, you need a minivan or a bus just to get all of them in one spot. You need a whole suite.
yeah,
You got to block off rooms at a hotel to take care of his crew. Is that fair? And he's not. I mean, and I hate it, but that's not the only time I've heard of situations like that.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
I want women to go ahead and understand that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I think you're a good guy. I think you got good intentions at the end of the day. But again, your situation, your past won't allow us to have a future. And not saying that he don't love his 10 kids, but at the end of the day, and he doesn't have a six-figure salary to even make a six-figure salary don't maintain 10 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she should have just like, I gotta walk away.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming through. Yep. And maybe you guys know of guys that, just doing what they doing. They out there, and there's no remorse in what they're doing and what they're saying. And these ladies aren't saying no. I threw this topic out, and we discussed it. I thought it might be something that the our listeners, might be able to contribute to. And if it's not, I'll apologize. Like I said again, but at the end of the day, like I said, we got to be responsible for ourselves. We try to throw out information that might be useful to somebody other than ourselves, and just keep pressing on. But like I said, if we got any listeners out there that want to contribute, great. And if not, like I said, we may have to end this show early. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we thank again for those that considered listening and tuning in. What ends or kind of beats up a podcast or any um program, it's a lot of dead air.
Yeah.
So, like I said again, if we're not gonna get a whole lot of other folks contributing, if we need to end this show early, I don't have a problem with it. But like I said again, I just thank those that thought enough to chime. I mean, at least thought enough to listen for a little while.
My joint, I could just keep reconnecting. All right, y'all can hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
All right, my joint keep reconnecting and disconnecting. But no, it's a good topic. I mean, I think if I wasn't having these issues I'm having right now, we'd be a little bit better. But but I agree with everything that y'all said. I mean, even with the I feel like even if you are in a relationship with the person, I think you can still make it work. If they have all those, if there's more than the kids that you have with the person. That's why I tend to agree with what G Man was saying was like, now it's like, okay, we got to sit down. It's like at that moment, that's when you got to sit down and go, okay, what can we afford that's going to be enjoyable for everybody, you know, as a family,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can make it work. It may
I
not
think.
be going to Disneyland, but like you said, Carowinds, you can do Carowinds. No matter what it is, you can find something to do. You know, water park, even if it is just for a day and not making a full weekend out of it.
I think men as well as women. And like I said, you got some women that have multiple children, and I'm not knocking them. Again, like I said, they're her children, and she's claimed them all. And there's guys in the same token that come out there, got multiple children. But I think if you enter into a relationship with a situation like that, I think you need to go ahead and have those conversations. You know, what happens when we want to go away for a weekend with the children? You know, who's going to pay? If there's more than
Yeah,
one parent involved, are we going to include their parents, into the equation? Far as we want to take the kids, so and so, do you guys have some money or some funds to help us fund this situation? Because sometimes you might have 4 or 5 kids, you know, from different relationships, before they hooked up. What are they going to do? So, like I said, sometimes you just got to sit down and have those conversations. What I mean, like I say, looking down the road, if we're going to stay in this relationship,
That's right.
and I understand that, he got 2 or 3, I got 2 or 3 at home. What are we going to do when we decide to do something family related?
That's right.
Because like I said again, at the end of the day, you can't fault the children or mistreat the children. or neglect the children because again you guys entered into a relationship like that.
That's right.
Hmm.
And like I said, I don't want fathers not to have the opportunity to father their children. I don't want fathers not to have the opportunity to stand up and say, you know, this is mine. I did this. Again, I want to support my children. I want to be with my children. And again, I don't want mothers telling them no for other situations, for other obligations. And sometimes, like I said, moms can be a little vindictive, you know, in that again, if you're not doing this or that, I'm going to deny access to the children. You know, I think we use the term baby daddy a little bit too freely sometimes. And when the dad want to be a father and to take care of the children, I think he don't have the opportunity.
Yep.
And even though, like I said, he may not be in a good financial position, again, like I said, sometimes it's not always about the money. It's about the connection. Right? I know you working your 7 days, but you can't make all the money, man. You're gonna have to let somebody else make some.
I ain't got enough people, so I got to short-handed right now.
You gotta let folks know that you hiring. You wanna help them make some money too, because you need to work maybe 5 days, 6 days at the most. Let them make some money. And like I said, and I hate it that there's a lot of folks that's able-bodied and need to work but can't. So you take people like Rod that's out there burning the candle at both ends, you know, trying to get his love life, trying to make that paycheck,
Here we
and
go.
then and like I
Here
said,
we
and
go.
take a little nap before
Here we
our
go.
show and then oversleep. That ain't right, y'all. Help Rod out a little bit. You know Rod in the meat business.
Mm, mm, mm.
What killed it? Yep. Do y'all have many applications in, Rod?
No, well, I can't bring in nobody else. So
So you just have to suck it up and keep working all this overtime.
at least for a little while longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hang in there, man. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And then, like I said, Rod, how you gonna get your romance on if you working all the time?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. All I do is go
Now,
to work
see, there you go.
and go home.
There you
That's
go.
all I do.
You
That's
don't know
all
what
I
I'm
do.
talking about.
That is all I do.
Or is
You
it?
can't work all the time. All work and no play make Rod real. Make him miss the podcast.
It was only supposed to be a nap, so but I overslept.
Yeah, man. Because you're working all the time. Them 6, 7 days. Ain't that illegal?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You know that ain't right.
Hmm. Mm.
You still sleeping.
Yep.
But back to
People
the
been getting
topic.
some
The
jokes
topic
off.
is a
He
great
can't get
topic.
no jokes off.
But it's still tonight. Well, tonight's topic was a great topic. I mean, I've never been in that situation before. Because if I dealt with anybody that like, if they had like, I don't. I no, I've never dealt with anybody that had young kids like that. So normally they were like right around the same age as my son. But I was different to where, um, if by some chance, if one asked for one thing and my son had asked for it maybe the week prior, then neither one would get it. If I couldn't get it for both, if I'm in a relationship with that person, then neither one. But more than likely, if I did for whatever I did for one, I did for all. If I was in a relationship with that
Okay.
person. Now, once that relationship ended, then yeah, that's where you know, I don't do for that for those particular kids anymore because I'm not with that person anymore. So,
Well, the situation that I mentioned, those children, those five, those six children, called him daddy at one time, and that was her whole claim to the situation. They've all called you dad, so how you gonna turn around and take one to Disney and leave the other five at home? But like I said again, walking for a man to enter into a relationship with a woman with five children, there had to be a lot of conversation prior to that. I would hope. I would think he would know her to the point, unless the separation was on, not amicable, it wasn't friendly, in that, well, like I said, now I want to get ugly with it. I would hope that's not the situation. But in the same token, you need to have those conversations. And conversation and communication is the key. At the end of the day, listen, when we get ready to do things, we're gonna have to do some things that's affordable for all of us. And like I said, from the more background I did, is that his family wanted to take, his dad and his family wanted to take the daughter to Disney. But like I said, when it was posed to mom was like, "No, you ain't unless you take them on, you won't take her."
oh, we got a message.
And see, and that's selfish. Just selfish yourself.
Gerard, all that work and no plays was illegal. You're gonna have to get it together. Y'all went from baby daddy to blended families to talking about Rod and Gerard. I mean, Roe and Gerard. Mm-mm-mm.
Well, like I said to our listener, we thank you. But like I said again, we trying to cover it all. But like I said, at the end of the day, like I said, we found ourselves entering the new territories to Rod and to working. And like I said, I'm so glad that you think that Gerard is working too much. That shows compassion and care. So whomever you may be, we thank you for looking out for Rod like that there.
Oh
Because
my
we love
God.
Rod. Don't you agree, Rod? Wasn't that nice of the listener to say that he's
Yeah,
working too much?
very nice. Looking
I
out for
you
your
know
well
what?
being.
I don't know who she is, but I thank her. Because when we say it, because Rod, we love you. You are boy. But like I said, when you got a listener looking out for you like that, man, that's big. That's big. Thank you, listeners. Rod, you need to thank our listener. I don't know what you think.
Say what? Say what?
You
I
need
need
to
to do
thank our
what?
listener,
I need to do
huh?
what? I
You
need to
need to
do
thank
what?
our listener because she seemed like she got a big heart and she compassionate.
What it sound like to
I'm
me.
just saying.
I
I'm being
agree.
on the outside looking in.
Still ain't said nothing.
You need to
Ah,
It's
thank her,
not
Rod.
that.
damn. No love around there.
It's not that. It's not that I want to work like that. It's because of circumstances I can't mention on here is the reason why I'm working 7 days.
Now, Rod,
So when
listen.
this clears up, then I'll go back to my original schedule of 5 days. Me working only 5 days. But I can't really say why on the podcast. Why?
Well, Rod, and I'm going to respect the fact that you can't say why. But at the end of the day, this further lets me know that you don't have time to contribute to a quality relationship because you working like you working 7 days a week, 7 long days, and not a word from you. 7 long days. I'm just quoting the great Tony Braxton. So how you supposed to have a life, Rod, if you working seven long days?
I feel like this has nothing to do with what the topic was. Um, it's
Rod, you
nothing I
know
can do.
what?
That's what I signed up for. When I
Rod,
became a manager for that company that I work for, that is what I signed up for. So I knew what I was getting into, what I was getting into. So I mean, I signed up for it. So
well, well, Rod, I'm gonna say this. I
nothing I can do.
know it kind of went off topic, but again, when you talk about running tele podcast, we go off topic. Sometimes we have to shift, and when we make our shift, it just is what it is. I'm just grateful that we got listeners that are listening, number one, and caring about your busy schedule. So when you can't go on dates and you just tell people you tired, Rod, you really are, man. You ain't lying to nobody. But you're doing what you gotta do. You're doing what you signed up for, and people have to respect that if they want to be with you. True?
True. True.
True. All right.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like this. I really don't want to be with anyone right now. So, you know,
That's right, because Rod, you're too tired to be with anybody.
yeah. So yeah.
And I'm not throwing your age out there, Rod, but you ain't 21 no more. You can't burn the candle on both ends.
What candle are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Man,
What candle?
just the just life candle,
All I
man.
do.
I
Oh
know that's
yeah.
all you
I
do is
mean,
work. You burnt on one
go to
end.
work, come,
Yeah,
go to work and come home. That's
that's
it.
it. That's it. That's it. But like I said, when you
Do
gonna
it
have some
all over
rod
again.
time? When you gonna have time for yourself?
Um, I have that little bit of time right before I go to bed, and then right when I wake up to get ready for work. So I have a little bit of time.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, Rod. I'm gonna say this with all sincerity. You taking a little time with us, had a little podcast, man. That's big. Because like I said, you could be still napping, getting your nap on, resting, relaxing, and you thought it not robbery to spend a little time with your fellow podcast people and those that are willing to listen. I appreciate you, man. Much respect.
Now I appreciate y'all. That's so. I appreciate y'all. Not picking on me for oversleeping because I did oversleep. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie.
we gonna
I was
pick on
knocked
you
out.
by that now. But like I said, we just giving you a pass for now because we know you tired. And that 7 days ain't no joke.
Um, we got another message.
Gerardo has some time soon, real soon.
Mm.
Oh hell.
Now,
Oh,
now,
pray
I don't
tell.
know nothing about
Oh,
that.
pray
I
tell.
don't know nothing about that because this
I don't
situation out,
know.
this situation
I,
at work ain't gonna be over no time soon. So, as far as right now, it's,
now,
it's gonna
listener,
it's
if
gonna be a
you have
minute.
some insight that we don't know nothing about, if you care to share, we appreciate it. But if you know Rod gonna have some time to himself and for
I like to
himself
know that. I like to
in
know
the
that
near
too.
That what it
future,
sounds like.
that's very impressive.
I I like to know that too.
Mm-mm. See, he gonna have some time soon and real soon. All right now.
No, no, I don't. I like to know about that too.
Mm. Well, listener, you may have to you just chime in one time or two more times so we get some clarity on Rod's free time that's upcoming. That's impressive. Maybe she a clairvoyant. Maybe she got a Ouija board. Maybe she got a crystal ball. Maybe she rolling bones. I don't know. But at the end of the day, she might know some
Did you
stuff.
say rolling balls?
Rolling bone, I don't know.
That's what I
But
thought you said. Rolling
yeah,
balls. That's what I thought
Sinners,
you said.
and Sinners. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Sinners yet, but it's an excellent movie. You need to go see it. But like I said, it had a lot of layers of things that's going on. But like I said, she was rolling bones and looking at some dark magic kind of stuff. I don't know. But anyway, we don't know. But listener, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I saw Sinners last week. I saw it last week, last
Any
Saturday.
thoughts?
It was good. It was a good movie.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Smoking Stack was outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I think the director, again, he had a lot of stuff that was layered in. Yeah, I think that, like I said, when he picked his cast, he did a wonderful job in that. Again, other than Smoking Stack, some of the players, the other actors were not unknown, but like I said, you didn't see them often. So again, like I said, he made an excellent statement. But I enjoyed the movie thoroughly, and I encourage those that hadn't seen it to try to go get out and see it. Wonderful date movie. If you still, you're in that dating phase and you just want to go out and good movie, great movie. Rod, you saw the movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
You made time to see the movie?
Went to a late one, late movie.
I hope
I
you didn't
went.
go by yourself, man. That that kind of movie you don't want to go by yourself. And it tells you
There
don't
was
invite
a
everybody in
lot of
your
people
place.
there.
Yeah, you can't
There
invite
was a lot
every.
of people there.
Oh. I like the way you replied to that. It lets me further know you can't invite everybody in.
No, you can't. You
You
can't.
can't invite everybody in.
Hey Dale, he say that, but
Almost
he always
symbolic of
do.
the devil. He can only come in unless you invite him in.
Oh shit. Mm.
That's a good movie. You want to hold somebody's hand and eat some popcorn.
Did you hold some hands?
Did you hold some hands?
Oh, I held my own hand. Hold
Damn.
my hand together. Hold my
Well, as
hand like
long as you
that.
held your own hand and nothing else,
I
that's
held my
good.
own hand.
You ate some
That's what I
popcorn with some
did.
butter on it.
Nah, nah, I
How
didn't.
you gonna go to the movie and don't eat no popcorn with no butter on it?
Nah, I just had me something to drink. That was it.
Okay.
That
Like I
was it.
said, then you technically you didn't go. You didn't enjoy the movie. Then you got to go with somebody,
I
man.
enjoyed the movie. You know what? I enjoyed the movie,
Oh, send me your email right
and
quick.
Okay.
all the people that was there enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
Also,
Now maybe our listener haven't gone to that movie yet,
Yeah.
and
hmm
maybe she needs to go to that movie and have us some popcorn with a little butter on it,
Yeah.
and hold somebody's hand. And Rod, it's sad that you had to hold your own hand. Well, better your
yeah,
hand than yeah. I'm busy man that you are.
I am. I am
I
very
know.
busy.
I know.
Yep.
So Rob, like I said, sometimes you just gotta say no, man. Sometimes you know what? I can't work 7 days no more. I give you six, I give you five, but I can't give you 7.
And it's so easy to do work all those. Like when you clocking in and all that stuff like that, it's a totally different beast. If you working 7 days a week and they give you that 10 hours a day or 5, 8 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
that once that paycheck come, it hit different.
It do.
It
It
hit
do.
different. So for like with Rod, he probably sitting there saying to himself like, man, look, if they gonna keep on paying me overtime, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just go ahead and take that. I might feel kind
Might
of
feel,
sluggish.
yeah, might be a little
I might
sluggish.
feel kind of
That
sluggish,
time
but
and a
guess what?
half be all
I
right
take it,
though.
man. That paycheck look good.
Wow. Wow.
Well, well, technically, I'm already mandatory. I'm supposed to work 44 hours, so I'm supposed to get 4 hours of overtime anyway. But grocery retail, I can't like I can schedule myself for 60 hours, but I can't work 60 hours because of like I got to make sure that that the people under me get their hours. So I have a lot of long days where I got to take long lunches, and instead of me getting 60 hours at the end of the week, I max out at like 47. But I'm there every day.
Yeah.
So you
You know
get
what? You know what? And I'm gonna tell you this, man. And look, they got something that called Chinese time. Chinese time is when And when you on salary, I'm not on salary, but you as a manager, let's just say you got to clock in, and they say they guaranteed you 40 hours. Anything after 40 hours, they pay you
Time
for
and a
it,
half.
time and a half.
Yep.
So when you
Mm-hmm.
clocking in and all this stuff like that, if they want you to actually work these hours and all this stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, they gotta pay
Got to
you.
pay you.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care how long you gotta be there, they gotta pay you. If
Got
you
to.
take 2 hour
Yep.
long break and they want you to work 14 hours a day, you gotta remember now you're not been in that place for 12, 14 hours. But then it, and whatnot. So they call it the Chinese time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I remember a time when I was working at this concept, this different concept and all that stuff like that, and all that stuff like that. We had the Chinese time. So they used to actually
Mm-hmm.
do the 45. Like anytime you work past 45,
Mm-hmm.
once you clock in, you get paid for it. Man, look, I used to actually sit there and get that. I used to get that 58
Mm-hmm.
because then that check used to look a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
different at
Yeah.
58.
Yeah. It's received a little different. That's all right. But Rod, like I said, don't you let them play you now.
No, no, but what? No, it's no, it's not them. To be honest with you, it's me, because how my bonuses fall, I got a scorecard. So one of the things on my scorecard is keeping my overtime down in my department, and that's the biggest, like one of the biggest pieces of the whole, other than my audits and stuff like that. The biggest part of my bonus. So yeah, I'm there 7 days, but I'm not working 8 to 10 hours every day. So I have days where I might work from like 6 to 12 or 6 to 11. So I'm only there like 5, 6 hours, and then I have the longer days where I have to be there till 7 o'clock, which is my manager mids. So I might work from 7 to 7 or 8 to 7. That's only 2 days out of the week. And then I have my regular shift. My regular shift while I work by myself, I got two of those. So that's why I don't never get 60 hours, but I'm there every day. But it's just that overtime, that affects my bonus. So as long as I keep my overtime down a week, which I do, the most I get is 3 extra hours of overtime because I'm already mandatory 44 hours that I have to work. So that helps me. That just helps my bonus at the end of the year. Well, we get a bonus every 6 months, so that helps my bonus.
So
It's
so
just the
Rod,
driving every day. I drive an hour to work every day, so that's why.
so Rod, how does that affect your dating life, man?
What do you mean? I'll be tired because I still got that's still a drive. I still got an hour drive, even if I'm there for 4 or 5 hours. By the time I come home, most people are still at work, and then by the time everybody get off work, I'm asleep or catching up
Mm.
on getting me a nap.
So all work make Rod a dull boy.
Well, I mean, some
But
people look at it
Rod,
like
who
that.
gonna hold your hand if you working all the time and cutting meat? Who gonna hold your hand?
I mean, if I'm cutting meat, nobody can hold my hand because the knife is in one hand.
I'm messing with you, man. I
I know,
understand. You
I
you
know.
hard working man. I get you, man. I get you. I get you. But like I said, man, sometimes you just gonna have to say no. Just got to say no. But look, I appreciate a man of your caliber in that again, you have a work ethic. And sometimes that'll lose a lot of people, black and white, a good work ethic. You just got to do what you got to do. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Like I
No,
said,
but
there's
there
days
was a.
I don't want to go. But I know, like I said, when 5 o'clock roll around, I have no option. I gotta do what I gotta do that I gotta do.
That's right.
I know one person told me this was a while ago. Told me that well, the question was asked if they said let's pick up and go, just say Atlanta for example,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to go? And I explained what my work schedule was, and that person said I had a slave mentality.
Ah,
Wow.
Told
No,
me I had a
and I,
slave
I, I, I
mentality. that on that, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have your you time, which I understand. You know, I can only do this for so long of working 7 days because I'm getting older. I just and being able to unload trucks and break down pallets and stuff.
That's interesting. And you
And
know that for
huh? Oh no, they reconnected. Want to appreciate everyone that's listening. I'm about to I'm gonna go ahead and play these 4 messages.
go for it, man.
What's up, fellas? It's new headphones. Are you able to hear me? Check 1, 2. Mic sound nice.
What's up, Renaissance?
We hear you. Thank you, Renaissance.
You heard how he said long breaks.
Yeah, I take a long break. Like my lunches, yeah, for me a lunch. I sometimes I got to take an hour, hour and a half to cut back that time to give that time back so it doesn't affect my bonus.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I drive about 2,000 miles a week, about 45 minutes from my job. People don't realize when you drive to work, you gotta drive back too.
That's true.
Yeah. So you looking at my drive time is 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day.
That's 2 hours road time.
Yeah.
Renaissance, that's a lot, man. You be careful when you're on them roads, man. And we appreciate you, listening this evening. Thank you much.
One more.
Yeah, my job, they offer bonuses depending on how fast you get done with your loads. But I look at it like this. If I get done with my loads fast, that means I'm probably breaking the law. Unless they don't cover it, I'm going to just do what I do.
Renaissance, you hear me if you don't hear nothing else. You be safe out there. Like I said, whether you get there on time or a little behind time, you be safe. We ain't got but one Renaissance. We ain't got but one Renaissance that have enough respect for us to call in and chime in. And brother, we appreciate you. Because trust and believe, if you don't make it, like I said again, only people lose is us. So like I said, you keep doing what you got to do and stay safe.
Like I said, we appreciate everyone that's listened, that left messages.
For sure. For sure. I want to say this. We are really small podcast. We are really humble, small podcast. And like I said, for those that chime in, those that call in, God knows we thank you. We don't know what kind of longevity we're gonna have. And like I said, that's why we encourage each and every one of the listeners to contribute a thought, a possible topic, so that at the end of the day we can contribute. Um, Miss Key, like I said, and again, we thank you, even though we miss you tonight. Callie, like I said again, a lot of our shows been kind of rotated around you. We thank you and all the other listeners. Man, again, you got to keep in mind that this is relatively new for us, but like I said again, we're just humbled and grateful that you allow us just an hour out of your life. And I know we're coming close to the end of the show, but like I said, for me, I'm just grateful. This is all new to me. I cannot thank Gerard enough for introducing us to this, introducing it to me. Ro, like I said again, seasoned veteran in pro. Thank you. Whenever JP is not around, he's at work tonight. We miss him. Him. Like I said again, these are all my dear friends. And like I said, I'm grateful to each and every one of all of you. Like I said again, I wish our topic had generated a little bit more conversation. I mess with Rod a lot, but I love him. I respect him. The fact that he's putting in those kind of hours. So again, I thank him. Roe, like I said again, I met him through a mutual friend. I get to say that I love him now as a brother. So look, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Like I said again, if we hit one, make a difference to one, then we've done a good thing for this podcast. Run and tell it. We're here for the longevity. We're here to just to share a thought. Again, take us serious or not. Like I said, we're having fun. I wish you guys could see behind the scenes in that our fellowship is awesome and we enjoy it. So whether we reach you or not, we're here for you. And like I said again, that's why we want our listeners to chime in so we know what direction we need to go in to make this part of our lives a little bit more entertaining for you. I think I just did my closing statement. I think I did, but we still here. Him had to step away for a minute. You guys still there?
Well, next week I'm gonna take an earlier nap so I don't oversleep for this one, because this one threw by me oversleeping like that. That kind of threw me off for the night. I'm kind of throwed off. Still trying to wake up.
Bro, you good?
I know he's at work, so he probably done lost. Because if he lost signal, he would have dropped him.
Okay. And again,
So,
to all our listeners, again, thank you all. Like I said, you thought it not robbery to chime in and to share a comment or a thought. We appreciate you.
so yeah,
So y'all can hear
there
me
you
now?
go. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it's going in and out.
Yeah, I figured. So, y'all gonna go see Sinners
Yeah, supposed to be Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah,
I don't think
unless
you're
something
gonna be
changes.
disappointed. I want you to go in with the open mind. Like I said, this director, again, like I said, Black Panther 1 and 2.
Ryan Colligan.
Yeah, I forget his. I can't. I don't want to mispronounce his last
Coogler,
name.
Ryan
But cool.
Coogler,
Okay, thank you. Hooligan. Hooligan. Well, like
Coogler.
I said, at the end of the day, he's done some amazing work. I think he's an excellent businessman.
Yes, sir.
That, like I said, at the end of the day, this movie is his,
Yes.
which is normally not heard of, being produced. Like I said, again, of course, he made a good portion of the box office, but the movie is his, so he'll be forever paid as long as this movie is running.
Man, that movie doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, yeah,
That movie doing dang good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you guys go out, you enjoy it. Try not to go by yourself. Get you some good popcorn with a lot of butter on it, and a Pepsi. Sit back, enjoy. And like I said, when you get home, think about the movie.
yeah,
Think about, like I said, what's going on with it. There's a lot of things going on underneath the surface.
yeah.
It expresses a lot of our history and a lot of our culture.
And it's a meaning behind.
Exactly, exactly.
It's a meaning behind everything
That they're doing.
that they're doing in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
And again, in regards to the whole concept is evil can only come in when you invite it in.
Yeah,
If you don't invite it
Mm-hmm.
in, it can't come in. If you say no, your no is no. So, like I said again, I want you guys to go out and enjoy the movie and enjoy it. And like I said again, if you get to go with someone, don't go by yourself. Like I said, it's a great date night movie. But again, if you had to go by yourself, like Rod, go enjoy yourself. And like I said, support the movie. Like I said, excellent. I mean, the cast is excellent.
yeah.
The theme is excellent. Like I said again, Smoke and Stack can't beat them as a dynamic duo, and turned out to be one person. But again, like I said, enjoy and just go ahead and do something for yourself.
I didn't say I no. I didn't say I went by myself. I just said there was a lot of people
Oh,
there. I didn't say I went by myself. It was a lot of people there. There was a lot of people there. But I
so
didn't.
you be
I'm not
see
gonna sit
now
and say
you
went by
playing
myself.
semantics. You playing word
I'm just
games
saying.
now. But I got you though, Rod.
No,
It's good.
no,
It
All
no,
sound
right
like to me,
now.
no,
Dale.
no. I was not. But I'm just saying.
Honestly, I wasn't gonna sit here and think that he went by himself. That's just something men don't do. They don't go and sit in movie theaters by themselves. But I wasn't gonna call him out like that. But no, now that he brought it out, you know, again, I'm quite sure there was a list of people that would have liked to have gone with you that you just said no
I
to.
don't know anything about. I don't know anything about lists, sir. I don't know
I'm
anything
just,
about
I'm,
lists.
I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying.
I don't know
You
anything
know,
about a list, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
There's a stretch of the imagination on that one, sir. I don't know anything about a list, but
Yes, sir.
I did.
I'm just throwing it out there now. It could have been more than the person that you went with. It might have been somebody else that wanted to put they dip share a bucket of popcorn with you.
All right. Well, ain't nothing wrong with sharing a bucket of popcorn to your next door neighbor.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
imagine you in the movie theater by yourself, and then somebody seen you eating down, chomping down some popcorn,
And you want to share your popcorn
and they looking at
with your
you.
bucket? Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
just go ahead and offer it.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
It,
Would you care for some popcorn?
yeah, it might be a Caitlyn Jenner, it might be a Caitlyn, it might be a.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Be careful now.
oh.
I mean,
Wow.
it could be a lot of popcorn eating out there.
Someone could be just a lovely person that you just need to enjoy that popcorn with.
That's right. I mean, it could be some people from the alphabet, a bunch of people from the alphabet.
But it's dark. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, somebody can be rubbing your kneecap and
Yeah,
you
it's
don't even
dark.
know it.
You don't know.
You don't know it, Jungle Rod.
Yeah,
So what you say?
Romeo
Oh
Rod,
no.
as JP would say.
Oh no.
To be careful now,
Yeah,
because once the movie over, the lights come up.
that's right. Somebody rubbing your leg, and next thing you know, you got them in the either they got you in the fetal position or
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
you in the fetal position.
And they talk about this leg is my good leg,
Oh yeah,
and this leg is kind of weak,
then he probably they
but
know
my third leg,
they they
that's I'm sorry.
they Rod sitting there saying like, hey, I can't touch you with this arm right
Yeah,
here
yeah,
because I
yeah,
got meat with this
yeah,
hand.
yeah. I'm a meat cup. Yeah, gotta keep his hand strong. Yeah,
Barbecue chicken ain't got nothing on you, Rod.
exactly.
Well, listen,
I
when
don't
we
know what
call
y'all
him
talking
Rod,
about.
that don't even sound good.
That's right. Yeah,
I mean, look, that don't even sound good, Rod. We gotta start calling him Gerard because you sit there, you
I
call him
don't know.
Rod.
Rod. He
Y'all be
sounds just
calling
like
me.
Get the wrong connotation.
Y'all
We
be
don't want to
call.
get the wrong connotation.
They been calling me that for a minute. I don't know why though.
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
no. We can't call him Rod. Listen to that. Call him Rod again.
Yeah,
Say Rod.
Rod.
That don't sound good.
Yeah, yeah. That does
That
not
don't
sound
even.
good.
Hey, Rod. Man, I got a Rod. What the freak you calling him Rod?
Yeah,
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 no. We changed that up.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
It's gonna be Gerard from
Yeah,
here on
Gerard.
out.
Yeah,
Well,
Gerard.
no. Most time y'all call me. Most time y'all call me. No, that's JP. Call me
Yeah,
Gigolo.
JP. Romeo.
But we just out here having a good time.
That's
That's
all.
all.
That's
You know what I'm
all.
saying? No pun intended at all.
Oh, we got a
Again,
message from
for every listener that we
Renaissance.
may or may not have, this time, like I said, has been carved out for us just to kind of fellowship. We have identified the importance of men just coming together and just hanging out. The concept behind the podcast was introduced to us later, and again, we just enjoying each other's company.
That's
And
right.
like I said, if we can encourage, support anybody along the way, that's what we want to do.
That's right. Hey, Rod, Gerard, play that message, brother.
All right.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And don't forget, we have the Universal Soul Circus. Well, if you're in North Carolina,
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, that's good business as far as Kugler is concerned. But I don't believe he owns the movie until after 25 years. But I mean, that's better than nothing. And that's inspiring because we could do that. Even on a lower level. So good for him.
Hey, brother, I'm
I'm not
glad you
working.
said that. But how does that work though? Like do they actually get a certain? Because now, from what I read now, and I don't care if anybody fact checks me because I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I read, it cost $95 million to make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I read.
They made all of that back.
They said they made that back.
All of that back.
So they
And
said
so
yeah.
yeah,
So do he get? So
he
who
gets a
really
portion of the box office, which
but who's
sometimes
gonna
is
get the money though? Because you got to remember now, this movie right here is gonna be on Netflix.
yeah,
Hey,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
y'all sound far away on my end, but I don't know about to everybody else's.
You still sleep. Well, at the end of the day, again, like I said, G-Man don't care who facts find him, but at the end of the day, we hungry getting paid. Like I said again, it was a great work. And again, like I said, those that have directed movies, um, all concur that it was a good movie. It was well made.
but you
The cast was excellent.
but you know a lot of people starting to do that. I seen the other day, Reese Witherspoon got a couple movie that's on Netflix. I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know got Kerry Washington on Apple TV and Prime, Amazon Prime.
And
You
she
got
did some Netflix.
yeah, you got Tyler Perry doing
Yeah.
some stuff. So how I mean like how do that really work? Like do they get paid? How many times do they look? So I think it's like something like the more the movie's out, the
Mm-hmm.
more they get paid. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Or is it
Okay.
like a certain percentage? You know what I mean? Or is it like annually? Or do they drop them one bucket? Say I'm gonna give you $5 million right here. You ain't gotta worry no more. But you got to remember at the end of the day, before Bill Cosby got into all that trouble, Cosby Show still was a successful
Yep.
show
Yep. Very
on
successful.
BET.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They were
Yep.
very successful, and
And the spinoffs,
the
A
spinoff.
Different
So
World.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't understand that these people still was making, they were getting money. And when the Cosby Show, when Bill Cosby, the stuff happened to Bill Cosby and all that stuff like that, they don't want to put Cosby Show on TV no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Now,
But A Different World is still on Netflix.
yeah,
He's still making some money. Somewhere he's making some
but
money.
did he EP?
I don't know.
Did he write the
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I know A Different World is still playing on Netflix. And again, I know there's some residuals coming from somewhere to somebody,
yeah.
you know. So
All right. So and not to switch the subject at all. Not to switch the subject at all. But I think that we need to take this conversation a little bit deeper into the NBA, the NFL,
mm-hmm.
and whatever we need to talk about for the last couple of minutes. Um, I seen a video of Shador Sanders
Sanders. Mm-hmm.
and all that Cleveland and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And his presence, like people, a lot of kids want to be like him. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of kids want to be at him. And then yesterday morning when I woke up, Coach Prime was talking to Ecuador or Epicor or web Epicor. So in Las Vegas and all that stuff like that. And he was talking about cats and dogs. And he was saying that if you made to be a dog, you can't have cats in your house. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, one of his message, I'll probably send it to the group later on. But we all should
Be
have
true to
dog.
who you are.
Yeah, and that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
You
be
know what I'm
true to who
saying?
you
He
are.
was saying
If
that
you're a dog, you can't have cats in your
you
life.
can't have yeah.
No.
That's what
You
he was saying.
you gotta be a straight up
You
dog.
got to be a straight up dog. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And like from seeing that and all that stuff like that, and then following his kids and all that stuff like that. At one time, I was like, man, this little kid is so brashy, and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff like that. But when I understand that who his father never, ever, ever, ever changed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Never changed himself. You know what I mean? From sitting on a chair with little Dion
But
Jr.
he
with
con-
his dad, I mean his mom being in, he never changed himself.
he confessed to be suicidal at a time.
Yeah, he said.
Yes, he said at one time he was suicidal, but like I said again, he tried to instill a thought, a power in his children's mind
Yeah,
that you can be great,
yeah.
and
And
you can't knock Shador who he is
you can't knock none of his
because
kids.
exactly because of who their father was,
Exactly.
and that says that father was there to instill it.
And let me tell all the listeners this. And if you think about who you want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
if your dad was flashy, your dad had nice things, obviously you gonna want nice things. You cannot stay away because your dad taught you how you seen it. You know what I'm saying? From growing up.
I don't want to drop into the spiritual aspect of it, but when you think about who your father is,
Yeah,
there's some greatness in you.
that's right.
There'll always be some greatness in you because of who your father is.
That's right.
That's just
But
who it is. And we
that
were made in his image.
that's right.
Just a
And
thought.
that's my spin on it.
Yeah.
But we got two message.
All right.
I agree. I agree. What's going on with Shador? For what I understand, it's very disappointing, and I believe that's a prime example of them putting you in your place. Because you got to remember, there were reports with what's that dude that went the first pick? I believe he was caught drunk driving, and everybody know about Travis Hunter. But to me, they have both of those guys under control, and I believe they're controlling Travis through that woman. But when you have somebody like Shador, and this gonna go into part two.
Hey, before you play that message, Gerard, now question
Mm-hmm.
right quick. Is it so question right quick. Is Kanye West right for what he spazzed out a couple like last year and said people like your thoughts like when if you come out and you say what's right, people will actually try to blackball you because you saying what's right. Is Kanye West right about that? Is he right? I know some. He say a lot of stupid stuff. But before, like
Mm-hmm.
when he first got on that little spill, when he's saying the media control your narrative, you got other people controlling how the way you act and all that stuff like that. They control how much money you make and all that. But is Kanye West right? Because if you think about it, the NFL just did that.
Mm-hmm.
They just
Sure
did
did.
that. I mean, so they can't sit there and say that this has never been done before because Eli Manning father did it.
Archie.
Archie
Mm-hmm.
did it for Eli.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That he
So
didn't want
so
them to
what
go
made it right if Archie can do it,
exactly,
that again Dion can't do it.
exactly. But yeah, you get what I'm saying?
And the
Yeah.
difference is obvious.
And exactly, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yep.
But
Dion thought they somewhat had a seat at the table. They thought that they could do what, like you said, what Eli and Archie did,
The
and then
Manning
Ro
can
had
do,
brought up,
yeah.
but Ro brought up John Elway did it also.
yeah, yeah, he definitely
So it's
did.
been
But
other people did it, but
but do we
they
really?
couldn't do it.
And I hate and
Hmm.
I hate to sound this way. Trust me and believe me. But do we really, as African American or Spanish American or Puerto Rican, do we really have a seat at the table?
No.
Do
No,
we
We
really have it? Do we have
really don't.
look?
no.
Do we really have? Uh, do we really have a seat at? Because if you think about it now, if we had a seat at the table, whatever we think it should be the menu item, and it
Mm-hmm.
should be agreeing with it.
Yep.
The menu
Yeah.
item is the best thing. Our whatever we feeling is our menu item. So we actually sitting there and we giving them what they need to know. You know what I'm saying? Sometime I'm gonna tell y'all this too, and I'll let you play that message whenever you get time. But sometime, like it's not good to share your idea with everybody,
You can't
cause
share your dream with everybody.
cause they'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they'll sabotage it.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't share your dream with everybody.
But that's just me. I'm just
Yeah.
speaking.
No, that's good thought. That's good stuff.
It is. Oh, play Science.
Yeah, so when you have someone like Shador with a powerful male presence in his father, Dion, they're intimidated by that because they don't need the NFL. And when Prime says something to the effect, I don't want my boy to go to Cleveland, and I'm gonna pull an Eli. They felt a type of way about that. So I think that had a lot to do with him being drafted so late in the draft, they're trying to show them who's boss. And I believe we missed the opportunity to boycott the NFL. But instead, they went to go get Jay-Z to bring us back. What do you all think about that? As far as that's concerned, and having children of your own, and the way they still pulling the same tricks.
So, so one thing right quick, and I'll let you guys answer. You got to remember too now. So when you got kids that's entitled, you know what I'm saying? Like people love the Travis Hunter story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they eating that up. People love the Cam Ward story. But when you got a Shador Sanders story, that father already worth millions and millions
Mm-hmm.
of dollars, and he being brass, they gonna eat that up. Especially when you got a father that's outspoken like Dion. You know what I'm saying? Travis Hunter dad was in jail. He's not in jail, but he's his mom, single mom, raised him with six. I don't know how many kids they got. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff like that. But you got to think about that story right there too. So people always will eat up a story that benefit them. You know what I'm saying? And this story right here is that look, look, you got. I mean, I mean, hands down, man. The man was the Big 12 Player of the Year. He passed for a lot of yards, broke Colorado record, and all that stuff like that. And just because he didn't want to answer a couple of questions because he think that he was going to be a number one or number two pick, you can't hold that against him. You know what I'm saying? But what they did is that they actually said, "Hey, we're going to actually show him a lesson."
Mm-hmm.
You know, his
And that's what they
dad
did.
talked too much.
That's what they did.
He talked too much. You know what
That's
I'm
what they
saying?
did.
And all that stuff like that. And the saddest part about it is that we all know who in control at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody in control but God. You know what
That's
I'm
it.
saying? So at
That's
the end
say
of the
it.
day,
Say that, brother.
once he actually sit there and he done anointed him, he might not start this year, or he might start this year, and he might show them what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they say he hold the ball too long. He don't answer question goods. And he told one team that, hey man, don't interview me because I ain't gonna answer your question. We don't know that. None of us was there. You know what I'm saying? He told the New York Giants, man, sit down. I don't wanna man, come on now. I don't think he said that. I just think that he probably didn't answer the question that they would love him to answer.
Mm-hmm. Or how they wanted them to answer it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that's all. G-Man said it. Um, in the nicest way as possible.
Mm-hmm. Did good.
Yeah,
Did
thank you.
good.
And as a father, you sit there and say, "Man, God dang it, why you man? How the heck?" You start cursing out. You start throwing things at the tick because you
Mm-hmm.
know how good your kid is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You start cursing out. I mean, you start acting wild, but
I want to think, and again, if I'm wrong, you guys forgive me and excuse me. But the white owners came to the table and they agreed that, Shador is too brash. He's being he's being more like his dad. But you're holding it against him that he has a father that loves him. You're holding it against him that he has a father that wants his son to have the very best that's out there. Be mindful now that if Shador never takes a snap a day in his life, if he does his money right, he'll be fine.
well, he's still gonna be
The
fine.
rest of his life.
He got a bunch of money.
I mean, like I said, I want him to come to the NFL. I want him to decimate some of the teams that passed on him for those owners that said he's too brash. He's not our caliber. He's not what we want. I want him to go in and go to work. But at the end of the day, like I said again, we should take our hats off to Shador and Dion because, like I said again, he wants to play ball. He don't have to play ball to make a living and be comfortable. But like I said again, some folks said that he's not our cup of tea. But like I said, I think like I said, ready or not, Shador is coming. He's coming and he's loaded for bear. And like I said again, I can only wish him the very best in doing what he can do and what he's shown to be able to do.
Yeah.
And like I said, welcome to the NFL, Mr. Sanders.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. I was looking at the Carolina Panthers, man. I wish that team well this year. They got all the pieces and all that stuff like that. I
Yeah.
wish that team well. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at some of the players that they got. I also was looking at,
They did good in the draft.
yeah, they did good. I was looking at Cleveland too, and all that stuff like that. The only sad part about Cleveland is that they drafted a quarterback before Shador.
They did.
So of course they're gonna let him play some. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only sad part about all that stuff right there is that man, you drafted somebody before another quarterback before him. I mean, is this guy gonna get cut? How the quarterback room look? You know what I mean? You got Pickett, you got Flacco, you got what's his name? Gillen, Dylan. Is it Brooks?
I'm not sure.
Gabriel, Gabriel
Gabriel. All right,
something or
so
yeah. Hmm.
so you got Gabriel, and then you got him. That's a loaded. And then you got Deshaun Watson, who's not playing this year because he re-injured his Achilles. Then you got him signed for next year too, guaranteed contract now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So how that's supposed to work? So you're gonna let Flacco be the quarterback? You gonna cut Pickett? You gonna cut Gabriel? Or you gonna cut Shador?
You ain't cutting your door. You
But
didn't
you
spend
never
too much
know.
money.
You
You
never
didn't
know
spend too much
because
money on your door.
man, they ain't spend no money on Shador yet. They
They ain't
spending
spend no
money
money.
on
Hmm.
they
Nah,
they spending
I
money
think
on
they plan on
Gabriel.
shipping them out anyway.
That's a possibility, fellas.
But you know what? They can get some draft pick for Shador. You know what I'm saying? I just think that how the way and you did y'all hear about the young fella that suing the NFL because nobody drafted Shador in the first round when they say he was first round
He
talent.
was.
They said they somebody suing for $100 million. Now somebody can fact check me on that. I'm cool with it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, just give me
Your
my pills
prop.
so I can go to
Yeah.
sleep. Give me
Mm-hmm.
my pills. That's it. What kind of pills you want? I want the lucky.
The
Mm,
good pill.
Anybody know about the lucky pill?
Mm.
You have you ever had the
mm-mm.
lucky pill before?
I
No,
never had the pill.
Nobody never had the lucky pill?
no, no.
Okay. Everybody on this podcast already took a lucky pill before.
I don't. A
Just give me
lucky
my
pill. I don't know.
yeah. Well, a lucky pill, aka aspirin. Just give me my aspirin. I'm good.
Aspirin. Oh, yeah.
It keep the blood flowing. A lot of people don't understand about aspirin.
You gotta keep that blood
It
flowing.
Mm. What I think they're gonna do is I think they hope. I think Cleveland drafted him, but I believe what I think Rose said they're gonna ship him out. But he's gonna go to one of those other teams that need a quarterback, even though they drafted a quarterback. So it's either gonna probably be the Giants. I'm
You
thinking
know, as a
Pittsburgh,
giant,
not even the Giants, because the Giants are already heavy.
I
no
yeah, they
Because
are.
what's gonna happen?
But I, you know,
What's gonna happen?
As
Because
a
I'm
giant fan, I would love to see him in New
nobody
York.
no nobody want no nobody should and let me tell you this, man, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But Cleveland's smart. What Cleveland did is that he knew Cleveland Brown know for a fact somebody later on gonna need a quarterback. They need
into getting
draft
them picks.
capital.
Yep, yep. So that's what I'm thinking. That they're gonna trade him for picks later on because Pittsburgh they picked the quarterback after Shador,
No, I thought it was
but I
four.
don't
Oh no, you right,
know Pittsburgh.
you
Yeah, in the
right.
sixth round, that's what made me mad because I'm like I'm not even I'm a Ravens fan, but that was crazy that the Steelers waited until after Shador got drafted and then the very next round they draft the quarterback, knowing that all they got is Mason Rudolph.
Well, from what somebody said it was a lot of people saying telling the owners to tell the GMs not
Yep.
to draft
Not
him,
drafted.
not to draft him, not to draft him, not to draft him. When he go off the board, then you draft the quarterback you want. Man, look, let me tell y'all something, man. I will be one angry father. But what Dion said, man, to God be the glory.
Yep.
That's what he said. He said, I'm glad that one son got drafted and the other one actually was able to actually draft sign a contract. And he said, man, look, that's the only thing he wanted. You know, like he said, the money is there. I mean, his kids are good.
Yeah.
You gotta remember now, Shador on
On
the rock.
top of
Oh,
what he
you
already had.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shador made some money. So when he signed that contract, even
What happened?
on
Mm-mm.
All right, then. Poofy Blonde from Columbia. I might be saying the name wrong. From Columbia, South Carolina. Poofy had
Mm.
never ever had a chance. Poofy had glasses on. He went from glasses and he was able to get contact. And then the contact, he was able to get LASIK surgery. That's what LASIK surgery. All
Lazy.
right, so he was able. Poofy, he ain't never ever seen the ball.
Mm,
They thought but he could pass the ball good. You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And a lot of teams didn't take him. I don't even know his true name, but he ended up, from what I was told now, he ended up at Coastal Carolina. Now they say he was as blind as a bat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He was blind as a bat, but they said that he did enough passing that he was able to go to the NFL. But by his height, he was not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
By him being 5'9" or 5'10", that's just like being my height, 5'10", 5'11". They said he wasn't gonna make it in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So people already make judgment of these players. Look at Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson. You know what I mean? He 5'11",
Yep.
but look how long he won the NFL. He won a championship. He did good with Seahawks. He might not did too good with Pittsburgh, but that's his height. He did good at what the college he went to, Wisconsin, right?
Wisconsin. Mm-hmm.
He did good there, but he was at North Carolina State first, right?
I believe so.
Before he transferred.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know what I'm saying? So height don't mean nothing.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to get at is that if you got somebody in your family that's well deserved of being a good quarterback, cornerback, lineman, and all that stuff like that, just keep pushing them,
Push
man.
them.
Because
Yep.
there's a lot of haters out there.
A lot of haters.
I mean, they drink that haterade, they drink that Gatorade. What's it? What's the other one? What's the other aid that they drink?
Powerade.
Okay, so how can we actually make Powerade a hater?
Mm-hmm. Don't
Oh,
know.
I don't know. I don't know.
but it's a bunch of stuff that people drinking out
They
there.
drinking
So
that bitch made.
yeah,
That what?
you
Did you
That
say
bitch
that bitch
made.
made? You right about that?
Yeah.
Well,
it's just sad. It's just sad to me. But yeah, we even getting ready to say, Rod?
no, I was gonna say we got a message from Renaissance, and then probably go ahead and close out because yeah, we are over an hour and a half.
Yeah, we over. Yeah, I knew we was over.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play Renaissance message.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see him in Carolina. That would be a good look. Uh, what do you think the chances of Dion linking up with his buddy Jerry in Dallas and him getting Shador in Dallas? What do you think the chances of that happening?
Man, Jerry act like he had something going on mentally on draft night. I mean, he was drafting people that I was like, man, you still need a quarterback. You know that get hurt all the time.
All the time. All the time.
But that would be priceless though, because from what I was told is that Beyond Compound, where he live at, is like what, an hour away from that beautiful stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it
Yeah.
because the Jerry don't he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to how he want his coaches to be everything be incentive based. So that makes your contract smaller because everything is by incentives. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get so much if you make it to the playoffs. You get so much if you make it to the I guess the NFC Championship game. You get so much if you get in the Super Bowl. He believe in incentive based contracts. So it's
Okay.
like I don't but nobody's doing incentive based contracts. He's trying
Yeah.
not to He's trying not to pay nobody. That's why him and what's his name keep going back and forth. The linebacker Parsons because he wants to do an incentive based contract for him. and that's why they still haven't signed the contract yet. Unless something happened recently, he hadn't signed the contract yet. He's still on, I
But do
guess,
you?
on that rookie deal.
Well, you know what's so sad about it? I mean, like, pay these fellas, man. Look, if we were all able to get in the NFL like right now, and let's just say you were a first round pick, Rod, and you were Dale a first round pick and all that stuff like that. And we hold out. And the only reason why we holding out is because we need more money. And the only reason why we need more money is because look, we gotta pay our agent. Look, don't forget now the NFL gonna be taking for that retirement regardless of what. They're gonna take up front that retirement. Then you gotta pay you got so much assurance, you gotta pay this. So if you sign $25 million for 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, and all this stuff like that, you got to remember when you break it down, you ain't getting 25, you ain't getting $5 million a year. You only getting like probably $1 million by the time the NFL done take what they need to take, and the taxes come out. You know what I'm saying? So of course, if you want to negotiate your contract and you say I need $60 million, LeBron James said it best, and I said it this like that. He said, "Why would I sign?" Back in the days when he was Cleveland and when he was doing 35 million, he said, "No, I need 40." Because he already knew that he had to actually pay his agent 1 million. He already knew he had to pay this or that, and how his family. And then he already knew for a fact the taxes was gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a certain amount of money that you need to actually survive. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah, but
If you look at the title NFL, the title says
Not
not for
for
long.
long. That's what it sounds like.
So
Not for long.
you got to get in,
And get
get
out.
yours, and get out.
What
You know
NBA stand for?
what's not mentioned that for?
NBA.
I don't know what NBA stands
You don't know?
for. I don't know about NBA.
I don't know neither.
um,
I got to think about it. I might
um,
have to go to Urban Dictionary and say NBA.
But you know what's in there. But at the end of the day,
but
you got to go in, make your money, make smart decisions, and get out.
no, but no, but also too, the every year the pay changes because okay, let's say I'm gonna use us for example. All four of us are, let's say, wide receivers. Okay, let's say Rowe, he had like, let's say he had the he was in the top five. So what happens is now him is in the top five. So now he gets to bargain for more. So let's say Dale got the Matt got like the biggest contract of all wide receivers. That changes the whole thing. Like with the quarterbacks, with when Russell Wilson got the guaranteed, and then what the other one from Cleveland, the one
West
that won that had
Deshaun.
the one that won Deshaun Watson. He ended up getting the most guaranteed, and then what happened? It changed again. Then I think Joe Burrows. Then it was Lamar. It changes every year. So that's like I said, going back to the Jerry thing. That's why Jerry's trying to make it incentive based because it changes every year. If you look at it, this receiver might be the highest paid wide receiver this year. Next year, it might be somebody else, and then the
Yeah.
next year somebody else. But it keeps going higher and higher, and Jerry ain't trying to pay that money.
Well, I really do feel bad for it. And now, look, all you Dallas fans, I feel bad for you. Your owner, your president, GM, he didn't do anything for you guys other than get Pickens, who's a headache. That guy, George Pickens, is a headache. That joker, if he don't get the ball, he cry. You got CD Lamb, if he don't get the ball, he cry. But god dang, how many headaches you need on your team? Then you got Parks, Michael on the defense side. If he don't get a sack, he cry. If the offense, like what the heck? So I'm kind of concerned about you, Cowboys fan. I'm really concerned about you, Cowboys fan. But like you said, Gerard, we gonna have to end the show because we're already over and all that stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I'm kind of concerned about the Cowboys, the Cowgirls fan. You know what I'm saying? I look. I used to be concerned about the Redskins fan, but after Redskins they got their stuff together with a good quarterback, I'm kind of concerned about the Cowboys, Cowgirls.
Mm.
I'm definitely concerned about the Giants too.
Oh man, Giant.
Y'all ahead of
I love the
right.
Giants. Yeah, yeah,
Y'all got
yeah,
Winston.
man.
Y'all got
Yeah,
Winston
yeah,
sitting there.
man.
He's a lollipop.
Yes, he is.
He's a
Yes,
lollipop.
he
He's sitting
is.
there. He down walking downtown trying to try.
He's still trying to figure it out.
No, well, that's the thing.
Yep.
He said, but he can motivate you.
No, please.
He
He
said,
can't
but
motivate himself.
well, he gonna tell you a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
You know, a lie don't care who tell it.
that's true.
A lie don't care who tell it.
That's right. That's facts. But we gonna let Gerard go ahead and finish up this show.
All right. Before we do closing thoughts, I want to say I do know a person that liked the Cowboys, and I will not say anything negative about the Cowboys today. So with that being said, uh, we're gonna start with Dale. Your final thought for the night?
Dale, final thoughts. Again, for all those our listeners, we thank you. Again, like I said, again, if our initial topic did not motivate or interest you, we apologize. But at the end of the day, like I said again, I want people to think about relationships. I want people to think about again the children that they have as a result of relationships and what they need to do. Again, we kind of slid into Sinners. Excellent movie. Like I said, I encourage folks to go out and see it. Great date movie. Again, give it some thought. Don't just look at what's on the screen. Be a little bit more bolder. Be a little bit more influenced and challenged, and to look beyond. Please understand that again. Run and tell it. Again, we appreciate each and every listener. We do. Like I said, we're about having fun. We're about enjoying ourselves. We're about entertaining, and we're about informing. Every night that JP is not with us, we miss him. But like I said again, he's with us in thought, in spirit, and in mind. So
Yeah,
again, we thank goodness again for each and every one of you.
yeah.
Thank you guys.
And then I'll go next. The only thing I gotta say is Happy Mother's Day
Yes, yes, yes.
to
To
all the
all the
mothers,
mothers,
all the mothers.
all the mothers.
You know, we might have been headaches, but
Yeah,
Happy Mother's Day to the mothers who mother us,
yep,
and some of us who lost mothers and all
yeah,
that stuff
man.
like that. You know, we still love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and for the women that never actually pushed a child through their womb, but still took on the role as mother, as auntie, extraordinaire. Again, we thank you. Like I said again, Mother's Day is coming. This is my first year without my mom. And I cannot tell you that I haven't thought about her every day since she's gone. But you know, throughout her life, she's always said, son, when I leave you, you're gonna miss me. She said that not to be, vindictive or anything, but because she's been such a great mom.
You know,
And she hasn't told a greater truth. Every day
and then,
I think of her and I miss her.
and just to finish out, what I got to say is that to all the people that got mothers here, please, please, please cherish your mom.
Yes, yes, yes,
Please
yes.
cherish your mom. Please, whatever you do, cherish your mom, because
She gone.
when she gone, no more conversations.
No more conversation. And have those conversations with her. The Bible tells us to honor thy mother and thy father, that our days will be long upon the earth. It never said it was a good mother. It never said it was a good father.
That's right.
It just says honor them.
That's right.
And that's what we need to do.
That's right.
If you don't do it but once a year, pick up the phone, send her a text. Mom, thank you.
Yeah.
I acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Ro, you got a final thought?
Happy Mother's Day.
That's your final thought. Okay. Um, like I said, we we appreciate everyone that's listening, everyone that will be listening later on tonight. Um, I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And as far as tomorrow, tomorrow is Mexican Mother's Day. So we want to say Happy Mother's Day on Mexican Mother's Day tomorrow.
Okay.
And to as far as the topic goes, um, it was a good topic. I was sleepy when we started. I didn't wake up until like later on in the show. But to answer any question from the topic earlier, if it was asked of me, like if it was a situation with my son and it was with other like person I was dealing with had other kids, I probably would say something like this because I told Ro, but I probably would say something like this. It'd be like, would you? I'd be like, so I want to take my son to Disney World, and it'd be like, well, you can't go, if you can't take if you can't take all the kids, then you can't go. My reaction would be, when I shot off in you, I created that one. I didn't shoot off on you and create the other five. So you need to figure that out. And I'm taking my kid with me and I'm leaving. So with that being said, happy Mother's Day. We'll be back next week. And this was a all new episode from Run and Tell That podcast, and we are out.
Peace. Peace.